Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Associated Guest. As always, am your host. Sorry about that. Alfie Animus here at the Bear in Mind channel. Today, Spencer Pratt drops a new video. Sorry. What is happening? Okay. Spencer Pratt drops a new video. The truth about the U.S.-Israel military deal. We get into a couple of female athletes and the shenanigans that ensue. We check out a small creator, bigger than us, but a small creator, who has a pretty good video that he put out. So we'll check on it. And if we have time, the future of the Democratic Party. It's a pickle. Let's. I swear I thought I did this. This is why I need 2 cups of coffee before I get started, instead of barely starting to sip one. But that's a me issue. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Did I mention I'm not good at this? Okay. All right, let's begin.
Hollywood is kaput. We recognize these guys. They're every bad guy, bully, sociopath, rich kid lying to get on the rescue boat. The teenage douchebag who chases you down and steals your lunch money. The archetypal bro in every movie with coiffed hair and a sweater tied around his neck, pumping iron and yelling at their girlfriend.
But he's just like us. I still can't believe that he has any kind of support after he went on a black podcast and said, "I'm just like you. I can't read."
Gavin Newsom and Rob Bonta are destroying Hollywood, and now they're trying to cripple 2 of the greatest film studios of all time over politics. These Sacramento politicians are every movie villain we've ever seen on film. They are everything Paramount isn't.
I'm Batman.
My name is Jeff.
While Paramount
My
and
name is
St.
Jeff.
Thomas of Cruz have spent the last decades building up Hollywood, the Bonta Bros have been destroying it, chasing productions out of town, sending projects to Budapest, neglecting film tax credits and incentives to win back production.
And I will say I agree with that, despite some of the things that I don't agree with Tom Cruise doing. He has been good for Hollywood as a whole. I don't like that he's gone against people who make fun of him. I don't like that he sues people in his personal life, again, for making fun of him. However, net positive as far as the film industry goes.
Doing everything they can to cripple the film industry while Atlanta and Hungary steal our lunch. And now they're suing Paramount to make sure the industry crumbles further, all because Paramount wants to invest $110 billion into Warner Brothers? Now, why are they investing in Warner Brothers? Because they're awesome. Warner Brothers has made some of the most iconic films of all time. The Matrix, The Lord of the Rings, The Dark Knight, The Shining, Harry Potter, Blade Runner, Dune, A Clockwork Orange, Lethal Weapon, Batman, The Goonies. Who wouldn't want to invest in them? In fact, Paramount has been partnering with Warner Brothers for years already. Remember Interstellar? Paramount developed it and then shared the production and distribution with Warner Brothers. Same with David Fincher's brilliant Zodiac and Benjamin Button, The Watchmen. And I bet you didn't know that. Rob Bonta and Gavin Newsom for sure don't know that.
For more than a century, Paramount and Warner Brothers have squared off.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
As fierce competitors.
I mean, I could understand you saying that about pretty much any other film studio. And yes, for the most part, film studios are in competition with one another, but they also understand that they share an ecosystem and talent.
Which has fueled powerful projects that have stood the test of time.
I'm not a smart man.
Who knows what those movies would have been like if not for the competition driving the distributors to produce their best work.
I mean, Disney still exists, and they're tanking most of their franchises. So hopefully, when Paramount acquires Warner Brothers, hopefully they'll know that you should spend some money on writers. You shouldn't just get some random person like Warner Brothers recently did with Supergirl, who has only done 1 short film, and then put her in the writing position of a Hollywood blockbuster. One that cost, I think, $200 million to make. That's an awfully big leap. why do people do this? For two reasons. One, something girl power, something giving a friend's friend a little bit of a break, but also for control. Because when you give these people who have never worked on a project such as this in their life, they've only ever done one thing before. The same happened with Josh Trank. They tried to control him. I mean, it didn't really work out for either party in that case. But but it started around the same time as they got Josh Trank fresh off of the movie Chronicle, which was really good, and it's where a lot of actors like Michael B. Jordan, I mean, it's not where he got his start, but it's where his name started becoming a thing. And he was very good in the movie. And he came with Josh Trank to the Fantastic Four movie, which is the main reason that he was in there. That, and he was a pretty big name by that time. But they put him, and he had only done one independent movie. I think he had done a couple other smaller ones that no one really ever heard of. And they put him in charge of the reboot of the Fantastic Four at the time. And we all see how that went.
If these two companies merge,
Right here.
Yep, right there.
theaters will lose their negotiating power.
Like the dumbest motherfucker that ever lived.
That doesn't
They'll
make
have
sense.
to pay more to get the merged companies' movies on their screens. They'll have fewer discounts to offer. They'll have fewer new releases to show. No kinks.
Never go for a retard.
Fewer new releases to show. They're still separate studios. It's just an investment. and to be honest, we could do with a few less movies. There's still plenty of studios out there. A24, several others. What's Blumhouse, I think, is still kicking around somewhere. They need to do better too. Blumhouse is known for having either some really, really good, amazing movies, especially in the horror genre, or dog shit. There is no in between.
What's next for these clowns in Sacramento? What industry titans are Newsom and Bonta going to block from collaborating next? John Williams and Steven Spielberg? Are they going to sue Tim Burton to block him from working
Charge
with Danny
complete.
Elfman? Hey, maybe we should let The Rock and Kevin Hart work together.
I agree with that one.
No, that's bad for consumers. They're too powerful. These politicians are a joke. Don't forget when Amazon, a $2.7 trillion tech and film production company, snatched up MGM 4 years ago. Nobody said a word. Bonta didn't care about that merger. Why not?
Well, I did. I did. Mostly, I think that was around the same time that they had started releasing things for Rings of Power. And then they started talking about what they're going to do with James Bond. So I said things. So Spencer Pratt, just do a little bit more research, but I see where you're going with this.
What's different? Is it because Amazon is one of their favorite Silicon Valley tech companies?
There are
I mean, that is a good point. That is a good point. They didn't say anything about that.
3 words that are nearly entirely missing from this complaint. And those 3 words are
Lisp.
Amazon, Netflix, Apple. So how can you define this market for movies and TV without considering those 3 major competitors?
Wide release theatrical films are different than, select release theatrical films and
Today, Junior!
are released to theaters. And blockbusters are, an animal, a market unto itself. But each of the markets as we've defined them creates a limiting, substantial limiting of competition that makes them presumptively illegal.
And so it's really just the amount of screens that you are putting your movie on?
Bonta claims that if Paramount
I want
partners up
money.
with Warner Bros., it will reduce production. They claim that after Disney acquired Fox, their productions decreased. Notice they specifically say after they merged. They don't say because they merged, because something else happened after the 2019 merger that may have had an impact on production. Yeah, they merged right before COVID, when Gavin Newsom shut down the entire state, and followed that with the biggest, most prolonged labor strike in Hollywood history. Everybody's production decreased.
I want the 3rd Spider-Verse movie. Give it to me, damn it. It was supposed to be like when the crappy Matrix sequels came out, but good. One was coming out in February, one was supposed to come out that November. it didn't happen thanks to the writer's strike. I don't care about you. I would rather you get replaced with AI. Not all of you, but most of you. They need to make more small movies, as we've seen recently. I know a lot of people don't like the Backrooms movie. It had problems, but considering the budget, it was all right. It was pretty good. I mean, considering the team was fairly, freshman, whatever. Obsession, from everything I've seen of it, it's pretty good. Some good actors that people haven't really seen do anything else. They made that movie with, I think, like 10 grand? Absolutely amazing. And I think it's... hold on, real quick. How much has... Obsession. Why are you so obsessed with me? Total global box office. I type like an old lady. Fuck off. Okay. Please, in dollars, fucker. Just past 400 million. And that was... Oh, fuck me. That's a bit ago, isn't it? 444 million. Nice round number. But yeah, based off of get an exactitude on the budget. Okay, I was way off, but still cheap. The horror production budget 750,000. Way more than what I said, 10,000. That was fucking stupid what I said. But 750,000, less than $1 million for everything. And made back, what's that? Like 500 million. God, I'm a fucking idiot these days. This morning. Oh, Jesus. 500 times its budget. Almost, roughly. I'll be here in a minute. I'm going to sip this coffee and let Spencer talk, because I'm dying.
Bonta conveniently won't tell you what happened after the Amazon MGM merger.
Yeah, one of the highest grossing movies of the year in theaters this year came from Amazon.
Not only did their production skyrocket, they absolutely ran the table with Project Hail Mary, a box office nuked it earned $2/3 of $1 billion.
Hold on, that was an Amazon movie? Nice.
Great movie, by the way.
Another thing Bonta does.
Oh, great movie, by the way.
Paramount went to the mat for a theatrical release with Top Gun Maverick. Steven Spielberg said that Tom Cruise saved Hollywood single-handedly when they fought to ensure Maverick got a full theatrical release.
And it was amazing. One of my regrets is I didn't see it in IMAX. Not true IMAX, at least.
It was really walking that theater. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it was awesome. He thanked everybody for the support. He said he doesn't care how much money the movie makes. He just hopes people enjoy it.
They were willing to eat the cost and delay the release to protect the theater industry and keep it from collapsing as lockdowns and the big tech streamers eroded the business. And that's another thing Bonehead Bonta fails to tell you. It was Netflix was originally the buyer for Warner Brothers, and Bonehead Bonta had no problem with that.
Are you shilling for Netflix?
Yes.
Why is that this deal?
This is a deal that's positive for consumers in terms of choice. The argument that Netflix is making is there's a lot of choice out there.
There are these monoliths that are dominating Hollywood right now. We're seeing it. Scale matters. And these are globally, vertically integrated companies for the first time in the history of the entertainment business that can do it all. Distribute film and television around the world instantaneously via the internet. And it has completely caught the rest of the entertainment business flat-footed, and they are now scrambling to catch up. So, the argument would flow from there that by combining forces of these two companies, you could perhaps create a real competitor to Netflix or Amazon.
That's the argument. And
yeah, but why are they wrong?
you won't have the same quality and variety
It won't be the same.
at concession stands.
He says that if Paramount merges with Warner
What?
Brothers, it will decimate industry competition because the studios would go from 5 to 4. What? Did we go all these years only to find out now that Rob Bonta can't even count? Did he get in the DeLorean and gun it to 88 back to an ancient past where Amazon and Netflix didn't exist? When Lionsgate didn't just join the Tres Commas Club with Michael? When a YouTuber with 750 grand just grossed $300 million in theaters with Obsession? What planet?
And again, we've seen that is domestic, worldwide, 444 million.
Living on
Billion.
where there's
Million.
not
Million.
enough
Million.
competition
I'll be here in a
Hollywood. Not only does Hollywood have more competition in its own industry, it has competition for your eyeballs from Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube podcasts.
These days, you know, YouTube is a media company, and that would certainly be much larger. Amazon is a media company. Apple is a media company. So, look, even Disney, you would say, is a media company, and it certainly wouldn't be as big as Disney.
This isn't the 80s, Rob. Streaming has changed everything. More and more people get their content online, which means less and less are watching traditional cable. The trend line is only going in one direction.
48% of viewing in this country was on streaming services. 22% of viewing was on cable channels. How can you not consider the larger viewing ecosystem when looking at this consolidation? Because they're competing with it. They're absolutely going up against Netflix and Amazon, yet you're saying that this one aspect of television viewing in cable channels is the one that is anti-competitive.
Bonta again has to deliberately exclude the streamers in order to cook up his bullshit argument that Paramount would have a near monopoly in cable, when in reality, cable share of viewers is vanishing so rapidly, Paramount would only own 7% of all television. 7%. That's the monopoly Bonta's shitting his pants over?
This is about everyday people's ability to enjoy and experience some of the joys of life, a movie, a TV series, you know, at home through cable or satellite, or, you know, God forbid, at a movie theater, you know, for a night out. This merger will make that experience, the quality less, and make it eroded.
You went full retard, man.
Bonta is...
As opposed to Netflix buying it, which wouldn't do those things. As we can all see, Netflix has probably an even worse track record than even Blumhouse, because Netflix has all kinds of things coming out on a weekly basis that no one even has heard of, and a lot of them are hot garbage. As someone who likes to go through those things and some of the independent things on Amazon, I can definitely attest to that. I haven't recently because I've been burning through One Piece, and it's kind of taking up everything, all my free time. But it's so good. Anyway.
Lying. He has no case. He has to lie about the numbers. He has to pretend that Netflix and Amazon don't exist. He had zero qualms about the MGM merger. This lawfare against Paramount is pure politics. Add in a communist judge, Arceli Martinez Aldwin, a Mexican-born immigration attorney handpicked to the Federal Circuit Judiciary. This
Ew, is that her?
knows nothing about mergers, knows nothing about the film industry, and that's the point.
Yeah, we like that judge, and we are before that judge, who's already thinking about the issues that we want to talk about.
Bonta's shot for a
Yes, she's an activist that agrees with us. That's a good judge. One that does what we want them to, not necessarily what the law dictates.
activist judge who would have no idea the damage this would do to the film industry, and she just co-signed Bonta's bullshit and put a restraining order on...
And again, judges, your job is not to do what you think is right based on your political opinion. It is based off the interpretation of the law. You are supposed to be the one who says what the law is. If you use that to push your own agenda, you should be disbarred. You should be fired, let go, turned loose, and possibly pissed on
the merger just to be punitive and cost David Ellison and Paramount a fortune.
Because I'm considering running for president.
Gavin Newsom doesn't like Larry Ellison. He sees him as too friendly with the president, and Sacramento is the most corrupt government this side of Mogadishu.
Trump allied billionaire family, the Ellisons, who own Paramount overseeing CBS.
And they would be using money from Larry Ellison.
Larry Ellison's one of the richest people in the world. He's been close to Trump.
Here we know Larry Ellison has a very good relationship with the president.
This is a politically motivated challenge, not solid on the law. It's all about politics and standing up to Trump to win points for an election year.
That's all this is. Gavin and Bonta are willing to sacrifice the film industry just for petty politics. Despite what this corrupt Mimbo says, there's a ton of competition for these studios. This whole lawsuit is a scam. He needs to quit playing petty politics and crippling Hollywood. All this does is put production workers in the barrel as cannon fodder when they're already suffering enough with how much greasy Gavin has pushed this industry out of LA.
He is very greasy.
The film industry
slimy,
needs a shot
if you
in
will.
the arm. And Paramount is not only investing $110 billion into Warner Brothers, but David Ellison is slated to produce 30 theatrical releases in their first year. That would be a massive boom for an industry that's been hemorrhaging jobs. This lawsuit will make it even worse.
Give us the Batman sequel so we can
California loses. That's
move
all,
on.
folks. Just how they chased Elon Musk out of California, this is what they do. Pick petty
They
fights
chased a lot of
and
people out of
push
California.
massive companies away. Like Elmer Fudd if he only hunted golden geese. Paramount isn't the problem. In fact, if it were for Paramount and St. Thomas of Cruz, the theater business wouldn't even exist anymore. Paramount and Warner Brothers are going to merge no matter what. If this lawfare continues, they'll just merge onto the I-40 and take their studio to Nashville. Then LA will collapse altogether.
Nightcrawler
Get your foot
trailer.
off the brakes, Bonta. America! We're on cruise control.
America. Nice.
The alliance of the left with the horseshoe right is manifest.
Okay, so this is an important topic. While I'm saying this, I'm going to look up that Nightcrawler trailer. Hold on. Are you talking about like Nightcrawler? Hold on, this can't be real. Okay. Sorry, I get easily distracted. This cannot be real. This has to be fan made.
Hello?
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 I'm going to pause it just in case there's any kind of legitness to this. I don't know who he is, but I already like him. Nux vibes. Oh, yes.
Didn't see you there. No, it's all right. All of God's creatures are welcome here.
I mean, you say that now until you see his bright yellow eyes and blue skin.
Has something happened?
Alright, I don't know where the music comes from. Hopefully it's AI generated, but just in case, pausing.
I have seen things on this night, Father.
He's a renegade.
Things that no
He's a
one
Nightcrawler.
can see. And I know these difficulties may be put in my path. Test me, but
Doesn't always seem.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Can't wait to see him freak out. Is this the one you're talking about?
Fair, does it?
I have to go.
Wait. Please, wait.
Please wait.
Do you have somewhere to stay?
I just want to see your face.
Name?
Telling you would put you in great danger.
In great danger. I am Kurt Wagner.
I see. Well, be that true or not, know that you always have a home here, in the house of God.
Do you still think that, Father?
Thank you, Father.
I don't think this is real, but it's pretty well done. Very I don't know, indie vibes. I like it. What do you mean this cannot be real? Well, mostly just because it's not on an official site. Nightcrawler looks a little off. Either he's fully CG or whatever. If this isn't all done by AI, but it's really well done. Nice, the dual swords. Dig it.
If you keep creeping.
See what I'm saying? Just little things, kind of. You saw it on IGN? Oh, well, maybe. But I don't know. I'm skeptical.
Around in the shadows, you're gonna miss out on all the good this world has to offer.
Oh, she's actually a devil.
The light of the world is always easier to see from the shadows.
Nice. Like I said, I hope it's real. I really do. Nightcrawler's always been one of my favorite X-Men characters. I don't know. So something about him, like he's very good natured. He doesn't care that people don't like him, even though he's ostracized and threatened, beaten, chased, just for the way he looks, because people see him as a devil. Which, I mean, you understand that sentiment a little bit, but at the same time, I mean, if he doesn't attack you. But it kind of invites, what would you do in that situation when it comes to the townspeople and a lot of the stories told about him. But at the same time, I mean, could you really bring yourself to do that? Could you really, especially when you see how, he cowers, how he doesn't seem like he wants to harm anyone, how he definitely doesn't when you see it through his eyes. And he still finds a way. It's kind of like the quote from the Diary of Anne Frank. It's just like, in spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart. And that's basically the encapsulation of the character Nightcrawler. No matter what people do to him, no matter what sins are thrust upon him, no matter what anyone ever does to him in whatever name, whether it be in the name of God or in the name of humanity or whatever, he still finds a way to have pity on those people, and he prays that they could be better. I saw this trailer on IGN. No, I mean, it could be. Okay, I looked up IGN again. I mean, either way, like I said, it was pretty well done, especially for a fan-made. It didn't look janky like AI. I mean, the character design of Nightcrawler, it was a little off, but then again, you don't often see his hands. Normally, he wears the white gloves. But it was pretty well done, well acted. Not sure what story they're telling. I don't remember any weird cult that Nightcrawler fought against or was involved with. I know for a time his father was Azazel and his mother's Mystique, and now they're saying that Mystique's actually his father, and Destiny is his mother, not the YouTuber. But hey, good morning, Yanuka. I legit thought no. I mean, it looks like it's probably the best fan-made trailer I've seen that wasn't necessarily made with AI. I mean, or at least it doesn't look like it was AI. If it was AI made, it was probably one of the better, most believable AI inventions I've seen.
Manifesting in yet another absolutely idiotic propaganda campaign, this time against the passage of a routine defense bill in Congress. The National Defense Authorization Act, or the NDAA, lowers costs for American taxpayers, explicitly asserts American sovereignty over all decision-making, and also protects our classified secrets. To help demystify things for you, we're going to look at the actual text of the bill. Read the words on the paper, because we're literate here on the show. There's a bunch of morons who are out there saying that somehow the American military has merged with the Israeli military. This is
which is, you've been seeing this a lot on X, on social media, in the news of late. They're saying that the U.S. military is going to merge with Israel's military, which isn't the case. I knew it wasn't the case from the beginning. Did a little research, and after doing the research, I saw this video came out, and this encapsulates it, and it words it in a way that I could never hope to do. Which is why I wanted to do this one today, especially because I think it's important, because you'll hear a lot of misinformation about this, and it's just not the case. And I don't know why it's so okay, because one, people will say how much they hate Israel, and they say that they don't hate Jews. Just because they hate Israel doesn't mean they hate Jews. And then they'll tell you how much they hate the Jews almost immediately. But again, I don't know why this level of actual anti-Semitism, not just, people said something about, noses or money or said a slur or something. No, I'm talking about actual anti-Semitic behavior, mostly led on the right, especially by people like Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson. When Nick Fuentes is a little bit of a voice of reason, Shlomo Fuentes, it's kind of jarring. Dan Blazarian's out there. Actually, I saw an exchange between him and Fuentes that was kind of funny. Let me see if I can find it.
Put it mildly, stupid. So yesterday, the House of Representatives, in a very narrow vote, approved the National Defense Authorization Act. One element of the National Defense Authorization Act is called Section 219. It was voted against by 7 Republicans and voted in favor by 6 Democrats. Section 219 of the NDAA is not particularly important. It is being treated as important by people who hate both America and her allies as a general rule. Some people think it's unnecessary. That's fine. I mean, I can hear that argument. That's not the overarching argument that's being made. The overarching argument that's being made is that somehow Section 219 of the NDAA merges the United States military with the Israeli military. This is, I believe the technical term for this in law is horseshit. It's just nonsense. I can read to you the text. We'll go through it. AOC, who, again, wept when she voted for the funding of Iron Dome. That's who she is. She calls the NDAA an existential threat to American sovereignty and democracy, like she cares about America's defense. She says tomorrow the House will vote on the NDAA, which includes a provision to merge parts of our military with the IDF. This amendment...
It's just straight up not true. Sharing intelligence, yes, but we already do that.
is an existential threat to American sovereignty and democracy. Every member of Congress must vote no, and the vast majority of Democrats did. Okay. Again, nonsense, but of course echoed by crazed lunatic Thomas Massie, who put out a similar tweet. Final vote today for the NDAA, which tragically merges our military, technology, and supply chains with Israel's. Let's hope this version fails in the Senate because Section 219 is a betrayal of our sovereignty. Okay, well, again, the House lawmakers narrowly passed this. It was a $1.15 trillion annual defense policy bill. The tally was 216 to 212. 6 Democrats voted for the overall bill. 7 Republicans voted against the overall bill. Naturally, you have all of the usual suspects. Cenk Uygur. Again, no one hates America's defense.
What? Chunky yogurt?
More than Cenk Uygur. The Republicans are officially Israel's bitch party now. Almost every Democrat voted against NDAA that had Section 219 to merge our military technology with Israel. Every Republican except Thomas Massie voted to be subservient to Israel and serve that foreign country loyally. Okay, Representative Summer Lee went ahead and pushed this as well. She was attacking also Representative Josh Gottheimer by mixing him up with Governor Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania. Okay, but what does the NDAA actually say? Well, fortunately for you, and fortunately for me, maybe unfortunately because it's depressing to be literate in an age of illiteracy. Fortunately,
where's my
however,
bastard
I have
party?
the capacity to read English words and understand them. Apparently, this is not true of AOC or Thomas Massie, or a wide variety of morons online, dolts and clods.
Well, and I mean, let us not forget that AOC is probably one of the most performative politicians out there, even more than people would argue that Trump is. But, I mean, just from the time that she's came in office, when she had that little photo shoot of her crying at the detention facility on the southern border, her holding that fence and her head as she cried into her hand. And then there was another photo that leaked, one at a different angle. And again, this is before AI, where it was shown that she was just looking at an empty parking lot through a fence, and it was all performative. The fact that she's only gaining momentum since then just shows how we all have TikTok brain, because people don't remember these little instances.
Who are firmly convinced that if we cooperate with our extremely technologically advanced military ally Israel in developing technologies, somehow this amounts to a merger. Okay, now I'm going to point out, number one, there is nothing in this bill, nothing, nor would I support anything in the bill that merged the command structures of the United States and Israel, or gave Israel control over America's actual military. That would be an absurdity, of course. The Pentagon maintains complete and total authority over all procurement decisions. The idea here is that we are going to do joint R&D with Israel. Why? Because Israel's really, really good at R&D. They're incredible at R&D, actually.
So
You know
sharing
where we're
technology,
lagging? In
like
drone technologies, in missile defense technologies, in rocket defense technologies. You know where Israel is really, really good at all of those things. Why? Because they're on the front lines and they are expending an extraordinary portion of their GDP every year to develop technologies to fight all of that. So if you'd like for America to have second-rate weaponry, if you would like for America not to have access to this technology, by all means, scream at the Jews. But let's be very clear what the NDAA does. It does not, in fact, merge the United States with Israel or command structures. And if the complaint is that supply chains are now complicated, I would like to point out that if you believe that everything the United States military is developed, that every piece of weaponry the United States military has is developed domestically and sourced domestically, you're just wrong. It's wrong. It's not true.
No, say the word,
That's
Ben.
stupid.
Say the word. You won't remain top Jew, top conservative Jew, unless you say the word. You have to call people retards. You've been doing so well lately by calling so many people retarded. It's been kind of nice. It's kind of made me actually watch a couple of your things because you'll say the retard word. It's nice. It's very nice. I know Nux enjoys it, but it's got him shaking in his boots because he seeks to be top Jew.
And the microchips
in his words
that are in American military parts are not being produced domestically. They're being produced largely in Taiwan.
Oh, are you? Oh, what is
it? Why Taiwan matters, internationally speaking. Alrighty, let's play a game. Rank your least favorite vegetables. Mine, I'm going to say asparagus. Friggin'
crap.
Weird. Off yours.
I was like, that was a weird twist.
So I'm going to read you the bill, okay? I understand. It's boring stuff to read bills, but it's also boring to, know things, apparently. It's much more fun not to know things and to be a stupid ass who spends your days online militating about bills that don't exist. And then getting people to buy into the new incentive structure whereby, well, we will have to tut this thing. Here's the truth. I don't care very much about this provision, other than I think that it's good that America ought to have access to the world's best military technology so we can blow the hell out of our enemies when we choose to do so. That doesn't seem all that controversial to me. But were this provision not in there, we would find other ways, I assume, to coordinate. But I'm going to read you the actual text of the bill now, okay? Because apparently this is now required in order to debunk the stupidity of an enormous number of human beings in the X space. Quote, the Secretary of Defense shall designate an executive agent, as such term is defined in the Department of Defense Directive 5101.01, responsible for synchronizing cooperative efforts between the United States and Israel to expand and accelerate bilateral defense technology research, development, testing, evaluation, integration, and industrial coordination by 1. Identifying jointly developed or Israeli origin technologies with operational utility for potential integration into U.S. systems and programs of record. Okay? You know
Sounds like it.
What that means is we're going to find jointly developed stuff we developed with the Israeli.
Sounds like it benefits us more.
Stuff developed in Israel that is going to be useful to us. 2,
yes.
Ensuring collaborative research initiatives involving government, private sector, and academic institutions in the U.S. and Israel is done in a manner that protects sensitive technology and information and the national security interests of the U.S. and Israel. So in other words, we are not going to pass on to them classified information. 3.
Sounds like any other sharing of technologies between two allied countries, any of them in history. Anyone who's paid any attention to history or played any games like, what was it, like Sid Meier's Civilization, to where when you meet another country and you decide to have an allyship and they're like, oh, hey, y'all have this, we want that, we have this and you could use this, how about we swap, we trade, we share information to show our goodwill towards one another. Of course, you would only do this with someone you trust, as we trust Israel with such things, because they've proven to be pretty invaluable allies, especially when it comes to military technology.
Facilitating the transition of technologies from research and development into procurement and acquisition pathways. So actually making things. 4, establishing frameworks for joint ventures, licensing agreements, and U.S.-based co-production and manufacturing partnerships with Israeli industry. In other words, Israel will be actually making things in the United States, which is good for our economy. 5, coordinating with relevant Department of Defense components, including the Irregular Warfare Technical Support Directorate, Capability Development and Innovation Divisions, the Undersecretary of Defense for Research and Engineering, the Defense Innovation Unit, etc., etc., etc. To align efforts and avoid duplication. Again, part of this is we don't want to do the same thing the Israelis are doing because it's a waste of money. 6, promoting joint training exercises and information sharing mechanisms to enhance operational readiness to deploy jointly developed technologies. So this is, we'll exchange information with you so that we have more information when we deploy the technologies. And then it lists a series of areas in which the United States will coordinate, including counter unmanned systems, including aerial, maritime, and ground platforms. That would be things like shooting down drones.
Yes.
Anti-tunneling and subterranean threats. The Israelis are good in anti-tunneling. They just had to do a bunch of this stuff in both Lebanon and also in Gaza.
And that's what happens when your enemies use all the money that they've received in aid, not to helping their own people, but making a whole series of tunnels for which they can do all kinds of things except for feed their people and build their infrastructure.
Missile and air defense technologies, AI, quantum machine learning and autonomous systems, directed energy and advanced sensing. Again, all this feels like this would be useful, right? Like we could use more of this and better of this. Could we not? Is the argument that we should have it worse? Now, nobody's making the argument we should have it worse. They're just lying about what's there. They're saying this merges the U.S. with Israel. Just absolute sheer nonsense. Totally unsupportable and unsupported. There will be interim progress updates. It'll be overseen the entirety of it by the Pentagon. Again, it's just nonsense. But again, the nonsense wins online because it turns out that there are a bunch of either morons or nefarious people who are very much focused on breaking up America's military superiority and technological superiority. That's the only way you can explain this, other than stupidity. So maybe it's just widespread stupidity, but it's weird how the stupidity all seems to run in the same direction. What an amazing...
At least of late. and it's absolutely insane. Like, I've gone through it my own self. That's the gist of it. That's basically it. Oh yeah, we're merging our military with Israel. The fact that these people not only vote, but a lot of the people who are putting out this misinformation, actual misinformation, control a good portion of our nation's politics. It's startling.
Seeing video you just
absolutely
watched.
insane.
Wasn't that amazing?
But anyway.
You talked about Warma.
Sports. We just do. So, Sophie Cunningham, who, by the way, Nick DePaul, it's his favorite athlete on the planet right now. A lot of people are big fans of Sophie Cunningham. You let me know if this is someone who's new to you. It's kind of an example in social media how athletes who can be very good at their sport or effective at their sport can become bigger than their sport because of cultural issues. She made a statement earlier this week, and then I'll give you the follow-up video now that people are outraged.
This is I made this. I know it's not exactly the same, but I made this in tribute to Sophie Cunningham, even though it makes me look a lot shorter than I actually am.
It was a bigoted statement to ESPN. She said, "I got a lot of negative feedback about me hating trans, and I'm like, I never once said that. I think that I'm here to extend love, but I also think with that love is truth, being honest, and I want to protect young girls in a locker room or young girls in a sport who shouldn't have to go against biological men."
Pretty easy.
Well,
which is a very basic and based opinion. Again, it's not about hate. When you disagree with someone, it doesn't mean you hate them. Hate isn't even a factor for a lot of people. Unless you get a scenario like the video we looked into, what was it, 2 days ago now? About the person losing their ever-loving fucking mind. You sent it?
Down on the hateful, genocidal rhetoric when pressed by reporters.
On that same vein, in that story with ESPN, you talked about wanting to protect young girls who shouldn't have to go against biological men. Just can you expand your viewpoint on that?
I mean, I think I said what I said. I think it's kind of common sense.
Right.
And I think I'll always believe in that. I think it's really important to protect children, and that's little girls who are also involved in that category. And so I stand on what I said, and I'll always believe that.
Yeah, do you see your advocacy on that, like, taking any form going forward?
You know, I don't know. I'm not a very political person, but I do have beliefs. I have morals, and I'll always stand on those and be true to who I am. And I think people are going to take it how they want to take it, but I've never even really said anything about that. And so when it comes just to protecting young girls in sport and women in sport, I feel very strongly about that. I think that's why you have Title IX. That's why you have some of the greats in women's sports. If Title IX and women's sports weren't protected, then you wouldn't hear about any type of women in sport. And so I think in the future it's just really important to protect.
A very based opinion. Did that sound like someone who hates people? Did that sound like a hateful statement? The answer is no. Absolutely not. And if you think so, what are you doing watching this? You should be somewhere coloring.
Here's the important thing there. She's a very tall.
Okay, hold on. Hey, Yanuka, can I share this? This is amazing. I love this.
She's like 6'2", right? Sophie Cunningham.
Something like that.
She's tall.
Yeah,
most she's
women
tall. She has, in
players
other
are
words, she has some physical features that would be more impressive, or certainly in athletic endeavors, than the average woman. But she's still feminine, and so she's not delusional. She's not delusional like the Megan Rapinos of the world, because she knows that even as a tall woman, significantly above average height woman,
Yes,
that a
she
man
is.
would smoke her. And
Yeah,
so
she's
it's
taller
common
than me.
sense, and
She's like- I think she's like
actually had to
6'2".
go through the entire system, Title IX, college sports, where there's about 4 people in the stands playing professionally with some animals or throwing weaves across the court. And she's going, you know what? This is probably just for women because I know how it goes when we compete against men.
She's probably competed against, I mean, not at a competition level, but she's played pickup ball. She's trained with men. I'm positive.
Guarantee you she has.
She knows the
So
difference.
She knows the difference.
Yeah.
But it's the ones who try and act more masculine, you know, little bridge trolls like Megan Rapinoe who say, no, there is no difference. But before that, let's do Reddit retards.
I mean, Megan Rapinoe is basically a...
Now, the beauty of this is that Sophie Cunningham can say this about...
Okay. All right, real quick, before we get into Reddit retards here, I have to share this. This is amazing. I love it. Okay, so... Alfie Animus, the Bear in Mind. Occupation, strategist, information broker, operator. Love it. Species, human. I mean, oddly enough. 6'4". I'm closer to 6'1", but for the character's sake, I like it. I dig it. Age, 37. Real me's older than that, just by about 5 years, but dig it, dig it. Nationality, unknown. I like the mystery. Alignment, neutral. Exactly. And that's the main thing. Again, I'll never consider myself to be conservative. I agree with a lot of things that they're saying these days, but mostly because a lot of people are being thrown into conservative spaces because the left has gone completely unhinged. Base, unknown. Based, extremely. Full body, I love this. I love my little gourd here. Bro, this is absolutely insane. The turnaround, love it. Let me see what that is. Oh, nice. Exactly. Like, this is a great, this is like a character sheet. I love it. I love how there's just a small but subtle difference between my serious and irritated faces. Love it. But it's absolutely there. Like, you can see it. There's a little bit right here. There's just a little bit right there. And just meh. Right. It's amazing. Emboss pattern, black on black. Absolutely. Deep crimson accents. Pocket watch. Dig it. Pins. Oh, okay. There's a close-up of the back right there. Yo, I love that. Signature bottle contains rare blends of wine, tea, or something else entirely different. Sake. Enhanced script, subtle tech integration. Yo, bro, this is amazing. Tie pin details, silver star with redstone centerpiece. Keeps the tie in place. Oh, it does that and more, my friend. Alfie Animus, known as the Bear in Mind, is an enigmatic strategist and information broker who moves in the shadows between power and knowledge. He operates in the gray, not for the ideology, but for advantage. He collects secrets like others collect art. He gives nothing for free, and he always knows more than he lets on. Bro! Oh my god, this is amazing. Master strategist, information broker, expert negotiator, culinary. That is actually true. I am very good. I'm a wonderful mediator and negotiator. Culinary expert. I wish. Master. I actually need to look that word up. I'm basic bitch here. Psychological manipulation. Some. Augmented strength and reflexes. The gloves. Multilingual. I wish. High pain tolerance. Actually, that one's true. Poker face. Almost unbreakable. Dig it. Yo, this is awesome. Of course, I'm making one. Oh, yeah, I already read that. Damn, my boy Chris. Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like I'm not dumb. I just play dumb on TV. Likes fine wine, rare spirits. True. Classical music. I don't indulge that often here. I do actually love classical music. Silence, control, loyalty. Rare but valued. That is absolutely true. Dislikes noise, incompetence based. Betrayal, crowded places, losing control. Yo, this is great. In a world full of hungry mouths, I feed the few who matter. Yo! That is amazing. It's because I used the photo from the restaurant prompt. Okay, right on. No, dude, I absolutely love this. The luck is very, very true. Yo, man, this is insane, man. Dude, I absolutely love it. That's amazing. You know, should put Tom Poison likes. No, that is definitely one. Oh my god, man. That's amazing. I'm saving that.
5-6 years ago, because of the violent coercion of the LGBTQ movement, and that's what I mean, by the way. When people say, why is that so important? Give me another part of the leftist agenda that gives them the instant ability to take away your children through policy. You see that across multiple states. It's only the trans issue, okay? That's a big one.
Sorry, I'm still looking at it. Dude, that's amazing.
But she's able to say this now.
Thank you.
People in the
Thank you so much. I'm
not
humbled.
on the left will go, yeah, okay, I don't agree with her. But yeah, that's reasonable. Once upon a time, it was framed as hate, and so people were afraid to even say, I just don't think that men should compete with women. Right? That's where we were headed. So...
And I'm not necessarily to the frame that I don't think men should not compete with women in everything. I think it's okay, of course, especially when it comes to certain sports where we're more equal on. However, when you sign up for a male sport or a female sport, you're basically saying, I want to just play against men, or I just want to play against women. When you sign into that. And a lot of people who play female sports go into it expecting to play against other females. If you introduce men or trans women, what have you, into those sports, you create a bit, and again, I'm completely of the mindset that I definitely could not beat up like Ronda Rousey. Or I couldn't beat the Williams sisters in tennis, obviously, because I don't play those sports, and therefore I would not be able to do that. But you also have to come to the same realization, the same way with when the women's soccer team was talking all that crap against the men's team, and their fans were talking against the men's team when the men's team lost a game in the World Cup. And they said, it's okay. We'll share the trophy. Well, they didn't say we'll share the trophy. It'd be like, hey, you know, considering y'all get paid more, but we're the ones that win the gold, maybe we should get paid more. It's like, yeah, but no one was really watching. Because, again, sports, like all entertainment, you get paid based off the viewership and the sponsorship deals, which are usually based on the viewership. It's the same as doing a YouTube channel or having a show on TV, or a radio show, or whatever venue, or how many people buy tickets for this stage, or comedy, or movie production. This is where things get their inherent value. The viewership for the female equivalent of sports like soccer, or football, or basketball, and even tennis, minus the Williams sisters playing, it's lower. Women's basketball specifically, and women's soccer, is subsidized by the male sport because of the viewership, not because of the wins. Because yes, the women's team is better than all the other professional women's teams in the world. The men's team is really good too, but they're not the best in the world. for a lot of reasons. But one, a lot of our people who are from other countries go and play for those countries, the same as did in the Olympics when it comes to basketball, which I think isn't right, but it is what it is. If we allow it, then sure. And a lot of people, even people of mixed heritage, like that skier, went and she performed for China in the Olympics. Again, American citizen or dual citizen, I don't think it's right, especially if you live in this country and then you go represent the other country that you don't live in. No, and I absolutely agree with that, Shapeshifter. Like, when I was a kid, there was boys clubs and there was girls clubs. And then once I got to be like 15, all the boys clubs became boys and girls clubs. And then there were still girls clubs. Same with scouts. There were Boy Scouts, there were Girl Scouts. Now there's Boys and Girl Scouts, and then there's still Girl Scouts. Because I guess guys can't sell cookies. But instead of, adding an addendum or a special section of the Girl Scouts to make it more like Boy Scouts, they just decided to let girls into Boy Scouts. That place with limited supervision where there's only like 1 or 2 adults per 20 or 30 kids, where you go camping out in the middle of nowhere. Seems like a great idea, especially for, teenagers. Albeit a lot of them are more religious, but, I mean, what are we talking about here? But, I don't know. It seems really one-sided, but again, to the point where I think all the sports should exist, but to say that they should get paid the same is silly. Now, should they get the same percentage of whatever revenue? Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely they should. But as it is right now, they actually make more percentage of the revenue because they actually get a lot of their payment from the male leagues. In just about every sport except for the UFC. The UFC is one of the few places where women actually are on par with the male athletes because those fights are crazy. I would actually argue that a lot of the female fights are more interesting or more entertaining than the male fights. Except for the heavyweight class. But anyway, continuing.
Those on the right, obviously you would share this view. Those in the center now, it's acceptable for them to go, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Doesn't make them hateful. But those on the left still exist, and they're trying to sell that bill of goods. Here, as someone on Reddit, Ludwig SKP, wrote, it's important to protect children from bigots like her.
Sorry, retarded.
I didn't. Sorry, retarded, but I didn't know that was going to play there, but I'm glad I caught it at the end. It is not a bigoted opinion. What I just expressed is not a bigoted opinion. What she expressed is not a bigoted opinion. The only way it is if you don't know what words mean. Okay? Disagreeing with people, and this is this whole holier-than-thou mentality of you have to agree with me 100%. You literally just sound like the religion or the way that you viewed the religious right of 15, 20 years ago. You are literally just acting like them. The only difference is, instead of, it being about some deity, some ethereal deity, not to mock religion or anything, but instead of that, it's the ethereal entity of your political opinion. No, women's tennis is actually, I mean, it is pretty good. I can't remember the name of the original, hotshot women's tennis player, but I do know the Williams sisters, and they pretty much changed the game. But even her, like Venus and Serena Williams, I can't remember, I think it was Serena Williams, admitted that she would not come out on top in the men's league. And it's not negative to women to say that. She said it's different sport. It's practically a different sport, which if you've watched them is true.
Yeah. What? How are you going to protect children from bigots? Tell me who Sophie Cunningham is attacking, kidnapping, insulting, emotionally harming any children.
Just the guy who wants to beat the girls.
Ah, okay.
That's the only one.
All right.
Literally the only one.
Now, what they really mean is it's important to protect children from bigots like her. Parents shouldn't be allowed to be bigoted like her, so they should be turned over to the state. That's what the left believes. Go over to leftist Reddit or Blue Sky to see. They cannot achieve power. If they achieve power again, they're going to do some incredibly perverse things. Z-Girl on Reddit writes, how many blonde-haired, blue-eyed, sports-playing transphobes do we have to hear about? Yuck.
Maybe she's retarded.
Just the ones who've earned their spots.
Yeah.
On the team.
That are very good.
It's like women don't understand sports are a meritocracy. Why do you have to do? Why can't you pick a brunette? Why can't? Because she's good. By what metric? The sport?
Yeah, by actually playing the
it's
sport.
All these blonde-haired, blue-eyed athletes. How many blonde-haired?
That, and she's known as the enforcer, and like you'll see her and Caitlin Clark getting just obliterated physically. Like, they'll be playing the game correctly, and they'll just be knocked over, kicked, slapped, poked in the eye, purposefully, by the way. Like, you watch the video slow down, and these are all intentional moves. And then eventually, Sophie Cunningham pops and starts doing some enforcing of her own. And I was really hoping at one point that she would go all the longest yard with Adam Sandler and, like, tackle the referee and be like, you're going to start calling a fair game? That would never happen, but it would be awesome if it did.
Blue-eyed women are in the WNBA.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Shut the hell up.
It's just like women. It's like these women don't. If you haven't played this, they don't understand. Well, no, she's there because she's good. Why does she have to be blonde hair and blue-eyed though? Why?
Because she was born that way.
Dumb whore.
Why does she have to be blonde hair and blue-eyed? Because she's born that way. What are we talking about?
Sub_genius on Reddit writes, I am sick to death of hearing about 8 kids playing trans sports. Oh, so it's a non-issue. What a dumb topic to speak out on. We have so many problems to deal with, and anyone devoting time to this subject is a moron.
I hate being retarded.
Got it.
So they're a moron then because they're spending time on it.
Yeah. And then you also have someone, Chicken Ranch worker, saying she is really living up to the MAGA hype. Dehumanizing trans people for a trivial/non-existent problem is a gross thing to do, period.
Sorry, we're retarded.
But then you have Luna Lore on, again, Reddit, writing, please watch this recent clip of soccer player Megan Rapinoe on the importance of supporting trans women in sports and the negative impact. But I thought it was a non-issue. If it's only 8 people, hey, how about we just do it the way all of humanity has done it up until 4 seconds ago?
How many penises in women's locker rooms are you okay with?
This is what the left does.
All of them. All of the
They
penises.
push it, they push it, they push it, they push it. Then you go, no. Over 300-something
Oh, that reminds me. I almost
spots
forgot. Okay.
in about a year, right? We've covered this before. You go, hold on a second. This isn't fair anymore. They push it, and they go, why are you making an issue out of a non-issue? So are you secretly trans? No, it was a non-issue throughout all of human history. Then you forced it upon society and used it as a cudgel to take children away from their families, metaphorically and physically, depending on the state. When you said it was never going to be. I remember when the argument was, well, no one's talking about sports.
Right.
Or we go, well, hold on, where does it end? Well, we can have a man boxing. Oh, no one's talking about sports. Slippery slope. He said, well, hold on a second. If that's the case, if you're born in the wrong body, then that means that you could start this transition at children. Well, no one's talking about children. Well, it's a non-issue. It's going to be a big issue. It's become
Why
a
are you
bigger
gay?
issue because you have been thrusting it in everyone's faces. The left wants to get.
I don't know why. Like I said, like I'm not like homophobic or anything. Like I've got all kinds of gay friends, but like seeing those 2 African dudes having that conversation, the whole "Why are you gay?" or "When I snap my fingers, you will forget you were ever gay." What? I was never gay, precisely. It's one of my favorite videos ever.
They use that word. They use that word. They overuse it, but that's actually what they are doing. They thrust something new, novel, and morally corrupt into society, and when people push back just because they, my God, noticed, they go, oh, it's a non-issue. What are you, a bigot? Sure. Sure. I am.
Evans. Stop! Are in your control. Rumble.
issue right now. We're trying to make sure it doesn't become a big problem. Do we have to wait until everybody's affected by this in every single state, in every single school district, on every single team before we go, hey, wait a minute, maybe this is a bad idea?
Yeah.
No, we prevent the problem before it spreads.
This is why I'm an extremist. And by your definition, by society's definition. I see a lot of people going, well, I think you can do whatever, and I respect that. But, you know, sports is where, or, you know, I think when you're an adult, you can, and you can change your pronouns, but not children. I will tell you this. You can't do it as an adult. I won't use your new pronouns. I don't respect it. You're delusional. I'm not playing any of this game. If you legally change your name and it's the only name I'm familiar with, I may be gracious and use that. Outside of it, zero tolerance whatsoever, because we either have to accept all of it or none of it. None of it! So.
Yeah, I like it.
Here's Rapinoe talking about something that has to do with trans, just when you thought her hair couldn't get any dumber.
At first it was like, well, nobody likes women's sports and nobody wants to watch it, or there was, you know, abuse happening and nobody seemed to care.
First off, thanks for the raid, Dan. Second, did she go into the barbershop and say, give me the Heaven's Gate guy? Was that her choice?
Oh my God.
I've never seen...
When I watched this originally. So if you don't know, Heaven's Gate was a death cult in, like, I think the 90s. And this is literally where we get the don't drink the Kool-Aid saying about joining cults or certain mindsets or whatever. But it's uncanny. It's exactly the same.
They're the same nose. It's remarkable.
All right. So I was just very distracted at the idiocy on physical display. Let's take it from the top.
At first it was like, well, nobody likes women's sports and nobody wants to watch it, or there was, you know, abuse happening and nobody seemed to care. Now all of a sudden we're going to use a vulnerable group of people in the trans community to be like, oh, well, we're just protecting women's sports and we care so much about it, when the Heritage Foundation is now going to go after Title IX. So is it...
It's not that you care about women's sports, it's that you care about women. That's why you don't want someone like what was the name of the... Oh, God, what was that one's name? Fallon Fox. It was like Fallon Fox. Breaking women's eye sockets and shit. Like giving them concussions to where they could never function, let alone fight. Fallon Fox was a trans woman, a man, in the UFC. Beating the ever-loving shit out of women to the point where they could no longer fight. Either whether during that fight or even after some of them, their careers were over. And he wasn't even a good fighter. And yes, he did eventually lose. But...
Charge complete.
No one said that no woman could ever beat a man in a fight. Most people said that women come around, as far as the top, whatever, they come around here, around the middle. Fallon Fox was not a good fighter in the male arena, so he went to the female arena. And I will call him he, because I have no respect for him. Yeah, respect is earned. So, yeah. If I knew his real name, then I would dead name him too, but I don't, because I don't care. But
they should. Is it about reproductive rights, or is it about just women's rights in general?
No.
We're seeing the rollback of Roe v. Wade. Marriage equality, I feel like, is getting put back on the table.
Speaking of marriage equality, Congress, yes, I believe that Congress, if the Democrats ever get power, and they've had power several times since the Supreme Court made the decision for gay marriage. When Democrats get power, they should focus on making an unbreakable law or whatever to where you can't ever repeal it without supermajority power for gay marriage. If they don't do that, and they haven't done that, they haven't even attempted to do it. If they don't do that, then I don't really think that they care about gay marriage. I think that they just want to use it, again, as a cudgel against the conservatives and everyone else. Because if you really get down to it, the Supreme Court shouldn't have made a decision. They shouldn't have interpreted the law to where it also included this thing that it doesn't actually include. Do I think that gay marriage should have happened? Yes, to an extent. Well, I think the government should stay out of marriage in general. I think it should be a contract between two people who so choose to do it. And it should allow you to be, you know, in the emergency room or whatever places that only spouses can get. Yes. Beyond that, the government needs to stay the fuck out of it altogether. Especially when it comes to divvying up anything for divorce and such. I think that should be agreed upon between the two, or vastly reevaluated as a whole. But if straight people can have it, sure, give it to. It's funny. Oh, really? Hold on. Let me. IL wrote something on Kick, like on mine. Hold on. Reminds me of why are you gay? But but no. Again, when the Democrats, because eventually they'll get power again, if they don't make within the legislative branch, Congress and Senate, make an actual law permanently establishing gay marriage in the United States, even outside of the Supreme Court decision, then they don't actually care. They're leaving it up there to possibly be stricken back by Republicans because it gives them something to talk about. It gives them something to push for. It gives them something to run on. And that's all any politician really cares about, for the most part. There are a few out there that actually care. I have trouble naming any on either side.
Feel like that? Law. And so all of these things, like, yes, they're going after trans people in sports, and they're using this as a wedge issue because we love sports, and, you know, we don't want our little girls to be unsafe in sports. And it's like, unsafe from who? But
men.
Okay.
What are you saying?
But now we're using this as
literally right there. Literally right there. Unsafe from who? From the men pretending to be women in the sport. She even implies it right there.
as like an overarching thing, when really what we're attacking women. They don't like women in sports because it helps us with confidence and power, and we see so many women in the C-suite played elite level sports. It's just great for you physically and all of it, but it's an attack on women in society.
Hold on a second. I think I understand. She's kind of
this is the most retarded statement ever. Yes.
Who decided to go with the Where's Waldyke outfit. I think she's trying to say that we're attacking women, and women are under threat from men. And again, this is often predicated on the idea that it's a very rare problem, so why do you care? Okay, here would also be a quite a rare problem. Rabid porcupines in women's locker rooms, and we could even use the WNBA. I'm sure it's happened somewhere, but it's quite rare, right? And so we don't really have an official policy on porcupines with rabies in women's locker rooms. But then Rapinoe is like, "Fuck your locker room," throwing in a rabid porcupine. It's just going nuts, biting a bunch of bitches, and we're like, whoa, we gotta do something about that rabid porcupine. She's like, "It's a non-issue. You're the threat." I think the threat is the rabid porcupine. There may not be that many, but there are more, because now there's a whole bunch of you throwing rabid porcupines into locker rooms. We never had this problem before. We kind of have to deal with it now. Oh, it sounds to me like you're the threat. Hold on. Shot put. What?
Yeah, threat from who? I don't know, the mentally unstable man putting a tampon in his ass? Maybe that
Which
guy.
is a thing, by the way.
You know, he might turn out to be a good guy, but chances are, freak show.
Yeah, I don't care if he turns out to be a good guy. I don't want him to. Go be a good guy over there.
Yes.
Go be a good guy where you could always be a good guy.
Go be a good guy where your d is somewhere else.
Exactly right.
How about you just put that back in?
And listen, she's trying to frame this as, well, they just don't like women. They don't want us to have power. They don't want women in sports. Are
Completely
we talking
the
about
opposite.
eliminating women's sports anywhere below the level of college when you talk about Title IX? Are we talking about limiting participation of women in sports at all? On a federal level? No. What we're talking about is subsidizing sports and making them have an equal number of female athletes to male athletes when it makes no financial sense at a university level. And we're saying if you want to play sports, that's fantastic. But guess what? Nobody wants to watch it. So we can't make any money. And on the things they do want to watch, we barely make any money. So we're only going to do women's basketball and maybe one other thing.
Yeah, take it up with women who don't watch women's sports and the 69% of trans individuals who believe that they should only compete on teams matching their biological sex. Okay? Done. Just do that. There you go. Done, you stupid Heaven's Gate little Lord Fauntleroy bitch. Now,
how many trans people you think watch sports? And then how many trans people you think watch women's sports?
That's a good point.
I bet you there's more straight men who watch women's sports than trans women who watch any sports.
Yes.
That is true.
I guarantee you that's true.
Although there's probably
I
a good
can't
percentage
guarantee,
with their
but I'm
pants
willing
off.
to bet.
There was a women's.
I don't know. Let's ask AI so it can get it wrong.
And that's wrong. And that's wrong.
Stop it.
Look, I think this is a good contrast. Sophie Cunningham, Megan Rapinoe. Okay, look at their different approaches. Look at their different methods of communication, what they actually believe, and who do you think could probably reach more women long term?
Yeah.
Right? That does. Hey,
Sophie
this is the
Cunningham.
problem with the feminist left. It used to be that conservative Republican women, when I was young, like they'd be kind of like homely because it was just sort of, it wasn't in vogue, right, to be a Republican. Now it's the opposite, because like feminism was about sexual liberation, and so that's when it was the pro-porn, pro-sex work era, right? And it was, we're empowering ourselves through lingerie, but you still kind of had to be hot. And so pretty often you would find, you know, the wet T-shirt contest winner going, yeah, rock against Bush, and whoever was a conservative or Republican would be like a Peggy Noonan lookalike. Today it's the exact opposite, because feminism has tried to empower themselves sexually by being ugly, by being unattractive, like that's part of the brand, and so women who just look normal are very often, more often than not, right-leaning. Case in point, Sophie Cunningham, Megan Rapinoe. If you were to look at them and someone say, guess how they vote, I would still guess both Democrat, but I would guess the one on the right who looks normal doesn't hate men to the same degree.
Okay. So real quick, that reminded me of something that was on Side Scrollers yesterday. So the Holy Trinity of the female VTubers was on Side Scrollers yesterday, and they were talking about this.
Let's get into this thing. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep saying die. Hang on, I have a leaflet frog for you. There you go, sir. Thank you very much for the 50. Yeah.
You know what I also have?
I don't
Hard
wanna
news.
Don't ask about the pickles.
Now look, I figured I'd get y'all together today and introduce y'all to a brand new sport. Very excited for this.
By the way, this is the guy with the ball cap that had the letter D on it for Dallas from that video. Put it in the box that Leaflet made. That's Craig Skitsimis, one of those.
And this is.
And he was also in there. I can't remember where he was particularly in the video.
Tish Hyman is. Do y'all have any idea who this lady is?
What?
She sounds like a classy lady.
Yeah, just listen. Her name just happens to be very funny. All right, Tish Hyman here. This is the lady.
It's actually Haman.
No. This is a real lady. She
No,
went
it's Hyman.
super viral because she is like a super black lesbian feminist here, but she's against the
Who dresses
She's
like Lenny
against
Kravitz.
Boys playing against girls. Right? It's really simple.
Okay. All right.
Now, she has discovered a brand new sport, apparently, that has been trending on X and TikTok here. She says, this is a sport I can get behind.
This might get me flagged.
And this is a fight club. Well, here, I'll just let the video explain.
Welcome to Queer Bash.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's glorious, isn't it?
Just call it that now.
It's okay because they're saying
it's
it.
the only sporting event where you hope they both lose.
Oh,
That's
God.
what I love.
That's Phoenix.
Hey, babe, I got a ticket to the Queer Bash this Saturday. You want to go?
Finish them Caesars here.
I love that this is a chant at this fight.
Is this real?
This is real. This is a real thing. And then somebody comes in, this poor girl did this voiceover for this.
Welcome to Queer Bash, a Denver fight club for transgender athletes. As combat sports organizations increasingly exclude trans women from competing in women's divisions, this local group provides a safe
You can tell they
haven
train
them
hard
to
for
fight.
this.
What the fuck? Okay.
I like how that one was wearing a skirt. You just so you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I'm definitely a woman.
Nah, this is great. They can get their anger out on each other instead of going to schools and shooting them up.
Like, why is it that they have powder as a little black dude who's painted white on all the things? I haven't seen much of Powder, but I mean, it sounds kind of like a girl.
Real women this time. It's fine.
Unless it's a voice augmenter.
I'm gonna need to do a little more digging on this because this. I'm sorry, I don't even know if I could put this in my search bar. The name.
Do
of
it,
this
Craig.
event.
Search
Otherwise
it.
I get flagged by the FBI for something.
I want to know what the round quote-unquote girl looks like. That's what I want to know. The card girl? Round one, round two?
Walks around with,
yeah,
yes,
I want to know what
round
that thing looks like.
Hey, Craig, if they made a game for this, you think they'd have a finishing move called masculinity?
Toxic masculinity. Right. It's the second fatality right there. I love that. So yes, this is a real thing, courtesy of westword.com here. We have men fighting each other. This is a new thing, apparently. Self-defense classes build confidence and community.
True.
I had to fight just to create this space where I could compete. When I was in the ring, that's the easy part.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate how hilarious it is to have guys be like, I had to fight to create a space where I could fight other men while wearing a skirt.
Right.
Somebody in the chat just said, finish they them.
Hey, Blabs, I know you're busy right now, but I'd really like for you to read this article. I'd really just want you to read this first sentence here.
Okay. Are you ready to see some queers fight it out? You know,
No, you gotta put your heart into it, like
that
you're actually
is
at a
my
wrestling
heart,
match.
man. Listen, Kirsha, do
Are you ready to see some queers fight?
Are you ready?
I actually would have rather seen a Trump presentation of that, to be honest.
And that's. I would like to officially put my hat in to be the official announcer for this event, or any event really, but I think it would be a lot of fun, especially if they let me make jokes.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, well, eight quote-unquote women met in a Denver warehouse on the eve of Pride Month. So they're going to celebrate by beating the heck out of each other? That doesn't make any sense at all.
So weird.
Battling for the coveted title of toughest tranny.
This is hilarious. I
Do
completely
you think
support
Ellen
this.
Page's gonna do it?
She was boxing. She was training.
Exactly.
You know,
I hope
My
she,
God.
I hope she signs up and then gets her ass beaten.
Traffic cones and caution tape marked off the ring, a thin foam mat atop the concrete floor. The referee wore a fucking ice hat. Here it is.
Oh, they might not like me.
Scantily clad ring boys sported cat ears and tails.
This is
So iDubbbz.
Boy Ranch is
All right, now are they boys? Now this is all right. This gets
I got it,
interesting.
yeah.
Okay, are they? So
iDubbbz.
are they maybe?
Oh,
Women?
now you're interested? Now you're
Yeah,
interested, Phoenix?
you said ring boys. When am I
I
not
think
interested?
they might be trans men, right? So biological females that have
Exactly,
chopped off
that's
their
what I'm
kids,
wondering.
and they're wearing cat ears and tails.
What
Wow,
is
this is
going on?
Fucking upside
This
down
is
world.
what they do off the clock when they're done
I mean,
programming.
Typically, right? You don't have the male to female.
But anyway, hold on
transgender that
just a
wants
second.
To be, like, used back into a man, but there is the fetish where women who transition into men want men to like fuck them back into being a woman. And there was a whole subreddit about this like specific niche fetish. So even though it's not very common,
That's weird.
maybe the ring boys are the transgender females who want a woman to turn them back into a man. You know, like they're the frog and they gotta get kissed.
To which I said, like that movie where Fred Savage and Judge Reinhold switch bodies, but
Logic
sex.
right there, but I get it.
Sound logic, it just works.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to keep hearing more about queer bash?
Boy, howdy.
I want to hear more about the queer bash.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Over 100 spectators surrounded the.
100 people watch this.
Let's go trannies. By the way, I thought this is a term that can get you booted off of YouTube here. And
We are merely quoting. We are quoting
right.
a source.
That's right, YouTube, right? This is Queer Bash.
Will that help you not get
right
because
outside the door? So I'm trying to like whatever.
because that's what happens when I say it. I'm just quoting
Queer
people
Bash. It can be a family fun activity.
every time.
Hey kids, I got an event to go to. Let's go.
It's like the new wrestling, you know.
The semi-regular demand.
Okay, I've got one. So after this, they'll also promote a series of drag races. No, not like the one with RuPaul, where gay only drivers race high performance cars, and you'll call it F drag. Anyway, sorry.
You want drama?
I mean, if we're giving everything like on the nose titles.
The semi-regular event comes as numerous combat sports organizations have barred trans women from competing in women's divisions, which is total horseshit. Argues Sybil Vane. I gotta find Sybil Vane here. I get beaten up by cis women all the time.
I just don't believe you.
My older sister.
I don't believe that.
Like, I believe that sometimes they'll maybe throw a match so the woman will touch them longer, but like...
I mean, cool on those women.
Well, there's, let's see, I'm trying to find, oh, no, don't look up Sybil Vane online. Don't do that.
Oh, no.
Just like, give me a heads up. Don't do that. Let's see. Well, screw them, said Vane, lead organizer of Queer Bash. If they don't let us in their space, we'll just make our own.
Yes, that's what people have been
Yeah.
asking you to do for like 50
You're literally doing what people have suggested. Having your own league. And I'm actually happy that these people are doing this. I think it's great. Have your own league. May the spirit of Andy Kaufman go with you as you do this, because he liked to fight women too. But no, it's a fantastic idea. More power to them. I hope it's successful. I hope it takes off. I hope that this is successful as the regular UFC. I truly do.
15 years.
Yeah,
amen.
This is great.
I agree. And you know, going back to that initial video, that's exactly what this lady is saying here. Like this lady here, yeah.
You couldn't have done that in the first place? You could not have started with this idea years ago. Instead, you had to give a second place podium spot to people like Riley Gaines and a traumatic brain injury, to people like Peyton McNabb.
See?
Bunch of grown men want to be dressed like women and beat the shit out of each other. Go for it, but don't beat the shit out of an actual woman. It took them this long to realize. It took them this long to get it. Kind of. Baby steps, I guess.
The political mixture is awesome, by the way.
Like
Based,
the
very based.
classical 90s butch that I would feel safe with. Like, she would kick ass if someone tried to fuck with you.
I agree. The question here, though, Kirsha, is I think that you've actually found a potential competitor here to this. This was, I saw you tweeting about this person the other day. They lost 60 pounds here.
Oh, no.
And it was the second biggest change in their life.
God.
Oh no, that's actually
Yeah,
that's actually what I said. This is iDubbbz too. Is that iDubbbz?
Your skin, man. I don't like it.
Anyway.
I looked up a bunch of his posts on Reddit. Very textbook AGP.
I don't believe you. I don't. Sorry, I'm having a hard time.
But there's a point to this, to all this.
One of the posts was like somebody asked
Exactly.
for a link to a Discord server that isn't all teenagers, and this guy replied to it like, "Yeah, I'd also like a link." And it's like, hold on. Why is every single, like, a trans Discord server filled with nothing but teenagers? That's kind of weird.
Hey, that's weird too. Golly, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Jesus.
Ooh-wee.
You know,
Dude,
props
homeboy.
for him to even trimming out his nose hair.
You had to make
It
room.
looks like he had some kind of
for,
plastic surgery. Like it's
more
haunting.
things to go into.
Them saying that, like, that's bullshit towards not being allowed in women's sports, and they even brought up grappling. When there was like a few weeks ago or like a month ago or something, there was that high school girls wrestling thing where the chick got sexually assaulted, like the transgender guy, or the guy who's trying to claim he's transgender, put his fingers like through the latex in her suit inside of her vagina, and she has zero recourse because when you consent to being like grappled with on the mat, Apparently that means you consent to everything, and so she can't even like go after him for sexual assault. Like they're using consent to sports grappling as like consent to getting assaulted.
Well, speaking of assault, the person who created the queer bash over here, Vane, actually, well, I have an update on this. After 7 matches, 23 rounds, Vane was crowned the winner of Queer Bash. So this is the organizer went in, and at the end of the day, they just wanted to beat the crap out of other dudes.
I guess,
which is great.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Fellow fighters adorned her with a sash reading. This is the sash. I love that somebody made this sash. Toughest tranny in Denver.
I love how timid he says that too.
Her.
It's kind of funny.
To the air on their shoulders.
Greg is so uncomfortable.
Greg, why are you playing the pronoun game?
So uncomfortable.
But anyway.
It was a dream come
Hold on.
Vane said, I had to fight just to create when I get seen a promo right there.
Yeah, pretty much. What the heck?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just going to tell you right now. Maybe side scrollers can sponsor this.
And this is the part that I wanted to focus on. I posted about this yesterday.
I agree.
Imagine getting to have your name as sponsoring the Queer Bash. Let's fucking go.
Very inclusive.
We should all go on it together.
You're like cheerleaders.
You just want to support the community, you know?
Yeah.
I'm going to do my best. I'm going to see if I can find the website, and I'm going to see if they would like to accept money to maybe upgrade their ring, perhaps, instead of just some police tape around this. But I think that'd be good.
Real event, like
yes.
real streamed event. You know what I mean? Like with a real ring, and then you got the.
You could get like a real announcer for them to like get.
And I would personally like to put my hat in for this, and I even posted on it yesterday. Everyone, let side scrollers know that you want me, Alfie Animus, to be the announcer for the topic between 1938 and 3422. Like I said, only if side scrollers does this, but I want to put them on notice for sure. I think it would be awesome. I'm a great announcer. I would announce anything, not just this, but I'm good at voices too. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing, but I can do all the things.
Backstory and everything.
Yes.
Maybe we can ask Joe Rogan.
Well, Joe Rogan's not really an announcer. He's more of a commenter, but
I don't know. He's got the UFC locked in right now. It's kind of a big deal. But maybe we can find the next Joe Rogan.
True.
And we can stream it over on Side Scrollers Plus for everybody to watch. It'll be great. You know, I think this could be really, really good. So
But anyway, that's that whole bit. On a side note, oh sorry, hold on. So yesterday I saw this post. Angel Reese posing because she thinks she's a model. To which I asked Grok, I said, hey, make Sid the Sloth wear the same outfit as Angel Reese. Oh my god. That's amazing. Yes, I agree with me. But it's kind of awesome. Likey. Anyway. But moving on, I think we have just enough time to appease the mighty, mighty shapeshifter. We will watch one of the Asmongold is a menace.
Hey, Zach, how do you afford Chipotle so often? And I reply, how do you like flipping patties, you fucking Funko Pop moose knuckle? How did you find your way out of your dad's balls? Oh, wow, that is crazy.
With a Thomas guide.
Yeah. Anyways, this one time a cockroach fell from my ceiling, and sometimes I rap or DJ to make my money, but most of the time I shit on games and game companies that don't know what they're doing. If you fart on your balls and then drag them over your forehead, that's how your Madden and FIFA microtransactions feel, bitch.
What the fuck?
So yeah, anyways, I dipped my nuts in hot sauce and teabagged his dad.
Dip potato chip.
Why he got a diamond in his eye?
Potato chip. Dip potato chip. Potato chip. Dip potato chip.
I'm traumatized. Angie, I apologize. I apologize. Hello,
That
Angie.
beer was
Angie.
better and lasted longer than Anthem did. What a shitty game that was.
Listen, I know you were the king of remasters.
Go remaster this picture of my taint in 8K and print 5 copies. I fucked your dad harder than you fucked up Halo, you 343 motherfucker. Go take out the trash.
I like how he just looks dirtier and
Your
dirtier.
mom farted you out of her greasy snatch and cursed the world with your presence is
Jesus.
beyond me. Just like your abortion of a WoW expansion. Bitch, look at my chains before ordering extra queso. Well, ain't this some shit? Fuck. Holy shit, you worked at Twitch? Just kidding, I don't care. Don't put bombs in the chicken, you Haji-loving jackass.
You jackass.
Diablo 4? Motherfucking, this is Diablo sauce. Your game wishes it was as satisfying as this piss. Fuck you. That shit stain on that table reminds me of Concord. You still proud to have worked on that dog shit ass garbage? God, I miss working on Destiny 2. The fuck you just say, bitch?
I just want him to walk up and slap one of them.
Look, guys, I can't tell you like what the N on my tie means, but I'm pretty sure you're smart enough to make an educated guess.
That's right. Instead of working on Marathon the
November?
game, you're gonna have a marathon
Is it Neighbors?
of making fries, bitch. Listen, Dad, don't play PvP. Remember that time I got shampoo in my pee hole and I was screaming it burns? That's how WoW PvP feels.
That wasn't shampoo.
Is the rest of Ubisoft's catalog in there? Get out of my sight, you waste of human skin. You're polluting the air I breathe. How many dicks do you have to suck to know you don't like sucking dick? This isn't a hard concept to get.
The answer is 0.
Potato chip, dip, potato chip, dip, potato chip, dip, potato
This
chip.
is somehow more gay
You
than
know,
the
why do
previous.
developers think gamers hate
Oh my
women?
god.
It's the ugly ones we reject. We rub one out to the hot ones.
How does he have dirty nipples? All right, so that's episode 1 of that. Okay, yeah, we'll do. We'll use those to keep us company until they release the new ones where they actually look like the people they're portraying. Except for Nux, I really kind of wish that they would somehow make Nux look less real. I mean, I do like the substitute form, the realistic blue man that they have substitute form, but at the same time, you know what I mean? But anyway, guys, let's see if I have anything interesting bookmarked here. Oh yeah, this is pretty awful. This lady drops a coin down this hog snout, and this migrant over here just kind of snatches it up, puts it in his pocket like nothing happened. Gotta love it. Let's see. And then you have people changing the picture to make them all Hitlerian. They're not Nazis. They just disagree with you. Okay. These 3 have never said anything Nazi-esque as far as I'm aware. If I'm mistaken, by all means, send it to me. Tag me on X, whatever. Go ahead. I'll be waiting. But... oh my god. Anyway. Let's see,
law that Netanyahu personally, Israel, if it believes under their own law that Netanyahu personally is responsible, needs to be held accountable for war crimes, let them prosecute him, not have the U.S. be part and parcel to a criminal court that we don't recognize, nor should we, because we don't want our U.S. American soldiers or our presidents to have to submit to that type of jurisdiction that has never been a part of the U.S. Constitution. It's never been ratified by the U.S. Senate and absolutely would undermine American sovereignty. But listen, this is exactly where Mamdani wants to go, because they have tried President Trump in state court, federal court, in the U.S. Senate. There's nowhere else to go but the International Criminal Court, and that's why he's pushing this. This isn't actually about Israel. Ultimately,
we're
it's
not
about
talking about
American
Trump. We're talking about Netanyahu.
that's her point, Anna. that's her point. This isn't about Netanyahu. It's about Trump. They want to try him in an international court. And then Anna Kasparian will completely bypass that and just say, no, we want Netanyahu.
We're talking about a
eventually
foreign leader
we will be.
Which they do want both. They do want Netanyahu, but they also, this is testing the waters. The little Satan, quote unquote, before the big Satan.
Is guilty of crimes against humanity. This
He's
is
not.
about Trump. I saw the little cute trick
that's
he tried
an
to play
assumption.
there. But it depends
No,
on.
but this ultimately
listen,
is
this
about
is
undermining
messaging
American
to the
sovereignty.
world what
No, the cute trick is your new nose.
we represent as Americans. Do we provide cover for modern day Nazis, or do we actually want to bring those Nazis to justice? And unfortunately,
To
the
justice
world that we
where?
live in today, where corruption is baked into our system and foreign lobbying groups
It's
have
not.
the ability to buy off our politicians, we get dragged into wars on behalf of Israel. We get implicated in the war crimes that they commit.
And again, I can't think of the group. AIPAC. AIPAC does spend some money, but it's what most of these politicians get is minuscule. If they can be bought off that cheaply, then it's pathetic. It's like YouTubers getting quote unquote bought for $7,000. Anytime a YouTuber says anything positive about Israel, they say, "Oh, you must have gotten paid that $7,000 from Israel." $7,000 isn't enough to buy allegiance. Okay, not even $7,000 a month is enough. Okay. So to say that these people are going to sell out the entire country for $100,000, $200,000 over the course of years is silly. I mean, maybe they're that cheap, but I don't think I haven't seen any evidence of that.
Mamdani is trying to signal is that there are Americans who disagree with this. There are Americans who have been elected as public servants who are actually against this. They can't be bought. And I really appreciate that despite
Oh, no, they're bought. They're just bought by other people for more money than AIPAC gives people.
the fact that he doesn't have the jurisdiction to unilaterally arrest Netanyahu. It's about messaging and basically messaging what our values are as Americans.
Her boss defended a Nazi tattoo and they want genocide of Jews. You're absolutely shilling for them, Piers Morgan. Absolutely. Like I said, Anna Kasparian and Cenk Uygur, sometimes they have a little glimmer of hope. They seem like, well, at least Cenk sometimes seems like the old Cenk, the one I used to watch, or at least the one I remember. But then again, I was part of the hive mind at the time. It's crazy. Also, I've been trying to research this. I can't find any information about any 4 tribe members being detained by ICE. But if it's anything like any of the other people that are detained by ICE who aren't illegal immigrants, they probably did something illegal to block ICE actions. Like, what do you want? Like, you can't block roads. You can't impede investigations. Okay, these are crimes of any federal of any federal agent. It's a crime. I'm just so sorry. I'm just so sorry. And it's basically this. More of this. Everything, including slightly left of center, is far right. I don't even think that this section exists. It's just more far right to them. And then the left is all the way over here. The horseshoe is real. And then these fuckers over here, the Candace Owens, I don't even put Shlomo Fuentes over here. Fuentes is probably more over here. But now you've got Tucker Carlson and a lot of people who they're just leftists. They're just leftists in disguise. A lot of them. I'm going to do a little bit more research on that before I speak on it more, but it's true, and it's a fair point. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today. I got to slide on out here and get to work. It's Friday. Hopefully, again, I'm not going to promise anything for this weekend. I'll probably mostly be trying to update my VTuber avatar and get a little better at my Streamlabs so I can actually utilize it to its full capacity, or at least to any capacity, instead of just knowing how to turn it on. But I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Make sure drop a like if you would, if you like what I've done here. If not, I completely understand. I appreciate the engagement for everyone who's been involved in the chat. Yanuka, Angie, I wouldn't be able to do it without you. Love you guys to death, and we'll see you in the morning. Have a great day, or have a great night, Yanuka. Actually, it's night for both of y'all, isn't it? Y'all are both on the other side of the world. But